When it comes to children, mums and dads are different, you know. I can be a good dad, but I'm not good at being a good mum. And mums just are not good at being a good dad. They may have to because they're a one-parent family, poor souls. But in some sense, it doesn't seem to be the ideal because, well, I defend my position as dad by saying that a dad is there for the children and the family and does things with. In other words, the family contribute to the work that he's doing. You know, I might be mowing the lawn, I might be cleaning the car, I might be going shopping, I might be mending something. And the children help. The wife helps. I say, hey love, can you give us a hand? I need two hands. I need 2 pairs of hands on this. Whereas the mother, the woman, cares for in a much more intimate, nurturing way. And she'll play with. I mean, I don't play well. I can play formal games, and I can, for instance, be very concerned that my child doesn't lose every time to me, but wins a certain percentage of the time so that they're encouraged, you know, to do well at the game and to get more practice and to do better, you know. But I'm very, it's as if the man's mind is orientated to the world that this child is going to be an adult and I need them to be able to cope and fix. So all the time I'm training. This may be partly because I've been a teacher all my life, so I tended to emphasize that. But do you see, whereas I see my mum as loving, caring, close, soft, protecting me from the world, whereas Dad is preparing me for the world. It's not that either role is not essential. They're both essential. And it's not easy to do both roles, as any one-parent family has found out. It just is very demanding. And there are other demands, of course, in being a one-parent family that, you know, 2 is better than 1. Resources of 2, guidance, checking on each other, you know. 2 is better than 1. Yes. So the one might not quite be in tune with what the other is contributing. You know, I mean, I as a man might see my wife's role as not as essential. That's, you know, they've got to be prepared for the world, love. It's a tough world out there. He needs to have the skills to cope, or she, you know. She needs to know what the world is, and so on. I don't mean I'm worldly, as you know from my recordings, but whereas she might be feeling, oh, I don't see the love and care and the sensitivity that you know, my wife is incredibly creative in a playful way. I know I'm creative in a mastering life, coping with the world way, you know, adult life. I do things that are unusual because I've found them to be a great blessing in living. You know, to summarize, I'm saying that I'm preparing the child for adult coping happy life. Whereas mum is very much in the present. What does he need now? He's asking for something. He needs such and such. She needs such and such. Could you do so and so for her now? It's for now. It's the now that counts. And this is most important to the young one, the child, because they don't grasp the future yet. The now is what they have, and to be happy and fulfilled, they're so glad that mum is close and near. But, Dad comes into his own increasingly as the child gets older, that Dad is there. He is the one that mum turns to so often for help and rescue. He's more valuable than I thought. Thank you, Dad. Yes, I had it's not a good childhood. Mum hated Dad, but of course she totally relied on him. She relied on his integrity, his honesty, his faithfulness, his provision. But she hated him. She's doing it. Can you do so and so? I need so and so. And of course, given his integrity, he always did it, basically. Yeah. Sure, Dad wasn't communicative enough, which I've tried to address, of course, in my parenting approach. And, he had other faults which I tried to put right too. I didn't put career first, I put family first. I felt he'd got it wrong, putting career first. He thought, of course, that, well, if I can't provide for, then I can't be a good father. So that must come first. I didn't take that approach. I thought, well, let's go for sufficiency. And that did seem to work. Perhaps my main error has been being too close, encouraging a relationship where husband and wife do everything together, and perhaps that's the mistake. Many things together, yes, but perhaps not everything. Perhaps that's just claustrophobic and they want to be free and they just find it overwhelming, especially as with some, I don't know, I'm male, aren't I? I'm stronger and taller and more fluent, more intellectual. I tend to be persuasive without wanting to dominate, but it can be too dominant, can't it? And that may have been my Achilles heel. Yeah. Don't know. Our hindsight's much better than our foresight, isn't it? Thought a great piece of wisdom I picked up some time ago, which was that every parent wants to be a good parent, and they never fully achieve it in their own eyes. I suppose because the world's very critical, and the partner can be very critical too. But don't take it as a discouragement. It happens to all of us. And if it doesn't, well, you're very blessed, I can tell you. Well, I assume you're very blessed if it doesn't happen. But don't beat yourself up for it. Reflect that you did what you could. Oh, that's wonderful. You did what you thought you could at the time. What other thoughts could you have had? You only had the thoughts you had at the time. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just thank God that he got you through one way or another. I've had 3 wives, and a child with each, and 2 boys and now a daughter. And it has its challenges, doesn't it, to say the least. But that's part of our training with God, isn't it? You see, I do like the notion of God being Heavenly Father, because he doesn't constantly talk to us, does he? Well, not literally anyway. A few saints have had a few conversations with God, but most of us haven't. Not two-way anyway. But without him, the universe wouldn't exist. Nor would you and I. And we wouldn't be having this conversation now. So, thank you, Dad, for all your love. Thank you, Dad.